This kind of is like near and dear to my heart because I grew up around a lot of men. And in those households or around these guys, there's just a lot of things that they kind of don't do because as men, you're told under this stigma to not do it, and that's speak up. So I'm here to kind of break that because I don't believe in generational curses. And we will be here talking, venting, speaking up, maybe crying. I might not be because I got makeup that I can't let run today. But nonetheless, I appreciate you all, like I said, tuning in with us. And I appreciate all the men that we have in our panelists today. Oh my gosh. So it's crazy how who I call my Uncle Daddy happens to be sitting next to me. I assume they all did this on purpose. Because I know Jay originally planted his seat there. He never moved. But just to go through real quick, I'm going to introduce everybody, and I want you guys to just tell me something briefly about you guys before we get started. As again, you guys know this is a mental health. This is a mental health awareness day for us. It's actually every day. You got to take care of yourself, whether it's mentally or physically. I like to also call today Self-Care Sunday. I know a lot of people say it, but I know me and my girl, we usually have something and we're hitting each other up and we're like, yo, what you do today? Oh, well, I did. We'll tell each other. That wasn't for you, though. So at the end of the day, you got to be able to take care of yourself because if you don't, who else will? And on top of that, if you're not good for yourself, you can't be good for nobody else. So with that being said, I'm going to just go down the line, just tell you your name and, who you are.
Well, if you don't know, Tim McCray, owner and operator of Where's the Food, and 1.5 partner in McCray Management. So, born and raised in Trenton, and here trying to help people out, do some good things with some good people.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
He's nervous. The teddy bear is nervous.
Now, DJ Big J Productions, Lucky 7 Love Clothing Ambassador, Trenton, Jersey, born and raised, divorced, father of twin girls, just turned 16, so y'all know my stress. You know what I mean? Keep these out there.
We're going to get deep with it today. Go ahead and tell us what your name is.
Oh, thanks. I'm Dex. I got a podcast called the Activity Podcast. I like to push positivity and great experiences to people. I'm from Ewing, born in Jersey, obviously. I'm just about positivity. I'm all about positivity. That's what we put.
Oh, I forgot too. And I'm also a part of the Bars and Shots podcast and the Town podcast.
Okay. I just want y'all to know, if you cutting anybody off, I will turn your mic off.
He said podcast.
Go ahead and tell us what your name is.
Shamir,
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Thank you. So I want to ask y'all something that's just, a normal question. I don't know if you guys get asked this at all in your day, but how are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
You're welcome.
Natural response.
Right. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling cool. Everything ain't all right, but it's okay.
I get it. I mean, hey, you can be honest with it, though.
We need to talk about it.
Exactly. You can be honest. You know what? And I like to cut off. I don't cut off. But I want y'all to understand that while people ask those questions, it's not psychoanalyzing or anything. It's literally just to get to know what y'all feeling and how you're feeling. Because it's too often that we go mute. We don't speak. We don't be like, oh, you're not okay. My kids and everybody will tell you, my household, you're not okay. If you looking like, I'm all right. No, there's something underlying. We'll talk about it later, though, you guys. So, Ted, how are you today?
A little bit stressed.
Ooh.
I'll be honest, a little bit stressed. That's my day. But I'm here to get it out.
walk up and down the street, and next thing you know, somebody literally walk up to me like, hey, how you doing? Some people be like, oh, I'm not, keep moving, but you will, I guarantee, you will sit there and think, yo, how am I doing? Or they took the time to actually ask me that, and it can go a long way. So without further ado, we're going to jump right into this whole conversation of mental and physical health. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not the healthiest. I don't think any of us are the healthiest, but I think at the end of the day, it's what you feel also. And mentally, I think once I saw you post this, and it kind of resonated with me this morning. Once your mental is right, your physical, and your eating is right, and I know that was a topic that was brought up too about how with health, you do have to live to eat, or you eat to live. There you go, you eat to live. So with that, Dex, I want to kind of take that to you for a minute, and you just, go on that.
The importance on how to eat and live, actually my best friend put me I just always a friend, gave me a book, and it showed me the importance on what you put into your body and how important it is to take care of your digestion system. It helps with the brain, mental, joints, everything. It was just like, we need to learn that more in our community.
Yeah.
That's a big mistake because eating it is health. Now we see our parents had it when they were older, diabetes, all those things. So it's like, and that goes into the mental as well. So it's like, we got to stress them for like, we need to eat right. Because we can eat junk food all day, but like, is it really good for us? Not really, but that's my biggest thing, how to teach you how to eat right.
Now, I'm not going into like your age or anything, but it sounds like you're old enough to have literally had this, it's almost like a moment. Oh snap! If I could have been eating better when I was this age,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? Like the energy and everything that you got going on at the age you're at now, like.
Exactly. I'm 28 and I actually did a fast before, 30-day fast, like once a day.
Bless you.
Wait a minute.
It's hard. It's hard, man.
I gotta help you thinking about it. You okay?
But it was a good feeling. Like I was like, it sounds funny, but I was like I was walking on air. I felt like I felt good. I had energy. Like I didn't even drink, smoke. I didn't do anything. Like, and it was because of him. Like this is, like I said, my influence on it because it was days. Like my best friend said, it was like day 14. I called him. I'm like,
You were stressing, and I know it had your body going through some change.
and I work outside. Like I do landscaping, so it was.
Let me ask you, was your head hurting? Were you dizzy? How did that transition happen?
I did have those symptoms, but once you pass a couple days into it, you forget about it. You feel good. It's just you treat people better.
Yeah.
There were times where I'm like, I don't know, nobody's like eating. I'm gonna be real, but
You still got hangry.
yeah, I was angry. I was definitely angry, but I felt good. That was the overall thing. I felt good. My mental was good. That was the biggest thing. But I detoxed on a lot of things, a lot of people, so it helped me get to where I needed to be. So that's why I said I want it fast.
I can piggyback off that. I did an intermittent fasting.
So what is that?
I did this 16 fasting for
So
16
less days.
No, it was whenever you do it. But you am I going all right? 16. I can eat in an 8-hour period, but I can't eat I can't drink water or black coffee in a 16. And so I would do it from my last meal would be 8 p.m. and I would break fast at 12 p.m. the next day.
I'm guessing the coffee is for the energy.
It's almost the same.
Yeah, same thing. And it's really honestly, it's mind over matter. Once you get past the first
Yeah, again, that mental stability.
Right, and then
Mental stability.
I work in an office, so office work, we all know what it is. The bottom drawer, snacks, oatmeal.
Just like the kitchen got the junk drawer, the establishment got the snack drawer. I get it.
So it's really mind over matter, but it's honestly a gallon of water a day. Even if you can't put anything in it, so it's just straight water. But it's black coffee, but black coffee it suppresses the appetite.
It doesn't even start to digest.
Right. And it doesn't taste like it's not as bad as people think it is. The first 2 days is just like black coffee in the morning and just water for the rest of the day. You
good. But like you said, I'm waking up. Like with me, I'm in school, I DJ and I produce. So I'm leaving my studio at 2 in the morning. Like, not hungry.
Yeah.
So then I'll lay down, but I'm up at 6, just like,
Wow. Your body has become accustomed to
can't be working till 8. Like, what am I
Yeah.
going to do? So it's like,
Wow.
after a while, I honestly, it's like, I want everyone to try it. Because it's like, you don't have to do like 16. You can do whatever.
Well,
period
let
of-
me take it a step further. What's it doing for you mentally?
It's helping you control your appetite. One of the
No, I mean you.
Me?
Yeah,
It's
you.
helping me with discipline. So like they
Yeah.
say, if you can't control what you eat, you can't control anything in life.
Yeah.
So that's like I'm coming from.
Y'all got me feeling like
Food is the
Hello.
hardest thing in life.
I'm about to leave from here and go get
My discipline is trash. Like with food, alcohol, women, just my list
I mean,
is
you
trash.
hey, you
So like you know, when Fauci can tell you, Mr. Hennessy.
we calling people out.
Mr. Hennessy, I used to have it tatted on my arm,
Yeah.
and
Oh, it's
for
not
you
there
still
anymore?
not, it's covered.
Oh, for real? So,
Wow.
I'm not going to. It's covered with piano in the house. But like I was doing some more, I'm not gonna drink. I don't want to drink. I'm gonna cool out, go to the block, gallons, half a gallons of Henny everywhere.
Wow.
Go to a party. I'm just gonna
That's
run
broke
like.
though. Wait, Smitty.
This is Smitty just looking at the bar, not even looking at the crowd. Just
Can't
looking.
listen to no songs with the word Henny in it.
That brown bottle was beautiful. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like when people drink.
Yeah.
One shot, so then one shot turns into a fifth. But it's when you control, like, I'm not going to eat, not going to eat, not going to eat, not going to eat. Only drink what I'm drink coffee. And what blew my mind, which mentally would also help me, was driving with my daughter. I'm like, you hungry? She was like, nah, it's past 8, I'm fasting. What?
I felt good.
Wow.
She was like, yeah, I see you do it, so I'm going to do it. So
See? Yes. Speak on it.
I stopped.
Speak on it.
And then she was like, all right, I eat before 8. I'm like, whoa. I stopped. She was like, no, I'm still keep going. The other twin, she's not, nah, bro. Nah, Burger King, bro. But it really helps you think, you have a clear thought process. I looked at him and he said he worked outside. I work in an office.
Yeah, you said like,
Yes,
that's
15 gallons of the 5-gallon water thing. He worked outside.
Well, you know-
I'm in office stress.
I actually, oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say also doing that 30-day fast helped me get rid of bad habits, not just drink smoke.
Right.
Bad habits in general.
In
That
general.
will help with convincing.
Right. And I kind of wanted to piggyback on basically, it's like a reflection thing. Your child picked up on what you were doing, and I wanted to ask Tim. Because, you know, many of us know what you own and stuff, but as a family man, you know, me knowing this, your reflection, like, let's talk on that. Let's talk on that a little bit.
Okay.
What do you feel is key in your life based on the reflection of those that have surrounded you, based on those that have come up around you? That could be your siblings, that could be your kids, that could be your niece, that could be your nephews, you know.
Honestly, just everything around me. I mean, you know, our house, we was raised Pentecostal ministers. So my mom and dad was, when I say ministers, they was ministers. You did not
Shout it!
not to disrespect the word that anybody don't believe. So we had morals, we were taught manners, we was taught, you know, there was no hate in our house. Like, I don't know if I can really explain that to people. There was no hate in our house. I didn't see my mom and dad arguing, fussing, and fighting. You know what I mean? My mom coming home drunk, my dad coming home drunk. There was no hate in our house. We were strictly taught love and fed these fruits. And these fruits was great. When you got outside, that's when the rebellion
Again,
was
when
set.
you're sheltered.
So, but honestly, the people around me, man, we always got love. We had a whole love. So those people was great. And I appreciate everything they did for us and what we're doing now. It's fruits of that. You know, I try and spread positivity. What's
Yeah.
that, man?
Right.
I'm not for everybody. I can laugh and joke. Y'all know me. Y'all know that. You know what I mean, I'm not a miserable person. I don't
Yeah.
care. Not everybody gets it, and I'm okay with that.
Look, you living in your truth.
that's what I'm trying to put out. I'm trying to plant something. I'm trying to sow some seeds.
So with that seed, I'm planting it to you, Shamir, because you mentioned you do photography and there's something else that you're pushing out based on just the education. I feel like, and I don't want to dip too much into education and stuff, but as a black man, we'll go there. As a black man, do you find yourself struggling with literally putting out something positive, even through your photography work? Like, where is your mental stability in that? I know it might take a minute.
You hit it with
Right? A lot to unpack there. As far as my photography, I feel like that's the easiest.
Yeah.
I release myself from, I always had the mentality to make money off of my art. You know what I mean? I want my art to, fund my place, my food, like, to live off
Yeah,
of my
yeah.
art. And in that, I wasn't making the art that I like.
It's for everyone else.
It's for everybody. It's for the check.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
recently, I've just made the separation to like if you look on my page, I don't take anything anymore. I don't want to shoot anybody's ideas. I just want to make my art and completely separate from
Right.
capitalism.
Yeah.
That is
And that's been helping you
Yeah.
mentally and everything as
Oh,
well.
absolutely, because that isn't. It's not an escape. It's my art is where I'm at my best,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I come to be at my best. If I'm doing it for some other reason, it's not being at my best. It's tainted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now that it's removed from it, every time I shoot, every time I'm working towards it, this is where my best is. Because yeah, that's mentally that's tricky.
No, but it is. It is. By the way, y'all, his work is dope. Oh, you got a question? Oh, we got questions out here. Yes, go ahead.
That was dope. How do you feel that because you took a backseat to everybody else and put yourself first, do you think that stagnated you because you still got to live? You know, that's the gift of the curse. You still got to feed yourself. You still have to.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. My art doesn't have to be that. You know what I mean? For some people, to respect my art, period, it has to be making money. You know what I mean? So, oh, you're a photographer, so like, are you shooting this or doing that?
Yeah.
And I tell you, I'm not making money off of it. There's less respect to it. It's considered a hobby. It's not a hobby.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is what I do. You know what I mean? So like, again, there's not an understanding. That's where it sort of gets into the political.
Yes. Yes.
And when I try to preach that side, and if you don't have that understanding, if you don't make money, it doesn't make sense. So if I'm talking about something that doesn't make money,
Yeah. You're not going to get it.
Chinese,
Right. No,
Yeah.
that's why I asked you.
yeah. So like, you know what I mean? It comes with its compromises.
Right.
You know, I have to now be acclimated to the idea of a 9 to 5.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
But like, I can still return to
What you like.
what I like.
Yeah.
What I love.
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you for
It
that.
plays a major
Oh,
part.
it does.
Yeah, I used to do that with DJing. Like, I would take anything because of the check.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need you in the projects.
All right.
Need you here. All right. Need you here. Then you sit back and you're just like, I don't like what I'm doing. Like, I put my life on the line for $250, $300, for 4 hours. First there, last to leave. And then you start doing things like that's not what I want to do. I want to do weddings. I want to do, I want to do weddings. I don't want to do clubs anymore. I don't want to do bars anymore. Let me do these weddings. And like you said, the gift and the curse is, it's like you giving up.
Yeah.
You giving up, but you get more gifts on it though. At my
It's
face,
that
so
amount
like,
of peace you get,
Right.
when you're doing it based off of not the money, like you're doing it again for self. Ooh, that peace.
and the atmosphere is a lot different. So
Yeah.
when I do a wedding, not to throw numbers out there, you figure you do a club 4 hours, it's $250, $300, maybe get a free bottle, you get what I'm saying, whatever. You do a wedding, 4 or 5 hour wedding, you're looking at $1,500.
Oh, yeah.
Big difference.
$1,500.
What's one of my
And you
best
still get free
And then in the middle of all of this, watching it. It's just like a bullet can, a bottle. You get what I'm saying? And then what changed my mind, like what really changed me, is when I did a party for Hennessy Carrera, Cardi B sister. So groupies. So she over in the corner, because her people are from Trenton. People like her people are from Trenton. So they're over in the corner at night scenes, and I'm DJing on my thing. So when it's time for her to get on the mic, she's here. Her security is behind her this way.
Yeah.
The DJ booth had 2 entrances,
And
so
that's
I'm now her other security.
Yeah.
And then I got 10, 15 people here walking in front of me like there. I'm laptop here. I'm got my arm around her here. So you get what I'm saying? So it's just like, yo, anything can pop off right now. And I'm scared now.
Yeah.
Because I not only have, like, I got thousands of dollars of equipment right here. I got a celebrity right
You gotta
here.
get home.
One security. You got, I don't know if you looked at a wet bottle in here. A wet bottle is there. And you got 10 around you. So it's just like, if something pop off, what's first? My laptop. You got security, baby.
Right?
Move my own. Something pop off, my laptop, boom. You get turntables replaceable. But
Yeah.
you use that laptop on our music.
But it just sounds like you made the right decisions for yourself, though, to step out of the box that you originally
Right,
did. You know what I mean?
right.
Like you were able to make that, okay, this is a conscious decision that I gotta turn away from making that kind of, you know, not calling it low income, I will never say that, but it's literally your, again, peace of mind over, but your peace of mind over, again, that low
And
income.
then shout out to the other voice of reason, Will.
You
Always,
know, you-
always.
Will not lie to you.
Listen,
2-hour
he will
conversation if you
not.
want him
He
to.
will- I already know these
Stop
conversations.
calling yourself Mr. Hennessy until they give you a bag.
Listen. Probably
Stop,
best
stop
thing.
calling yourself
And you
that.
know, ooh, I like that you said that because it almost goes into reprogramming. How do we reprogram what we were as adolescents to where we are now? And I kind of want to, everybody's going to have a different version of this because I'm kind of going to just have y'all think a little bit. So for Tim, how were you able to reprogram, let's say, someone coming at you in a way you didn't feel was, what's the word I'm looking for? Not respectful.
Well, you know
Respectful
Right.
in order to, again, protect your own inner peace. And for you, Jay, I heard you mention the word verse earlier, and I heard you mention kids. For you, how do you reprogram what you probably learned from your parents growing up into your now life? Because I'm sure there's some things that may be similar to what your parents went through and may be totally different. For you, Dex, how do you reprogram, or how are you reprogramming in your life today as far as, again, kind of the same, like an adolescent, when you're younger and you're dealing with these, again, generational curses, how are you able to step out of that? And you, Shamir, how do you reprogram, or how did you reprogram yourself, because like we talked about earlier, with removing yourself from that situation that, you know, you weren't no longer happy in, because you obviously was doing it for the money, doing it for, you know, everybody else, whatever. So let's start with you.
Listen, reprogramming is hard because, you know, like I said, we was taught something. We was literally, and I hate to use this word, and I don't care if people get upset, we were brainwashed. So every Sunday I thought I was going to die. Because I thought a chariot of fire is going to come out of the sky, take me back. You know what I mean? I'm not going to play with my friends on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we were fearful. And then as I got older and started realizing, oh, it's another Monday, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Look in the sky, God.
They scared the mess out of me.
That old school religion was fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
It was fire and brimstone, and people don't know what I'm talking about. So I had to reprogram and realize that you can live your life, have morals, have belief in spirituality, have all that, but not live in fear. You know, that was the problem with religion. The old school religion created fear. It created fear, and me, I didn't even realize that fear, my rebellion was, I was violent.
Yeah.
I was angry. Like, I wasn't this nasty, jokey dude. Always a good dude, but back in the day when I was younger, I like violence. I like the feeling of punching somebody in the face. I like the feeling of picking up somebody and body slamming them on them. The pain. I was a real angry person, and I didn't really realize where this anger was coming from. But it was coming from that fear of religion and what I was taught and how I was raised. You know, don't do this, don't do that. So I rebelled against everything. I smoked, I drank, I did this, I did that. But the anger inside me, that almost consumed me. So I had to reprogram myself and realize that as I got older, yo, bro, all that anger is just fear. Let it go, bro. You know what I mean? It's not that deep. You know what I mean? You can solve a problem. We were talking about this outside, conflict resolution skills. You know, I had that, but instead I wanted to use these. Because this got the answer fast. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Now you understand. You know, and I was angry, you know, and I didn't know where this anger was coming from. And a lot of that was stemming from, you know, not thinking about being out there and not being fearful of this whole live and die thing. I felt like I wondered that.
So let me ask you this, what calmed you?
What calmed me? My son. Having my first kid changed my mentals totally. Because now I realize I gotta take care of this thing. I'm not here punching people in the face, having these fights, jumping, like sooner or later somebody will come, shoot you, kill you. Listen, you're not gonna win everything. You already know. Tyson know it, any boxer know it, everybody on this panel know it. You're not gonna win everything. You're not gonna talk to them. But now these kids, when they ask questions, they just pull out and shoot. These back then, we would fight. I might see you next time, but I'm sorry, I didn't drink. I can't do that. So that having that son gave me that mental stability to say, you know what, I gotta drop this anger because I gotta share this love with this little dude right here. And he needs me till the day I die. And that's what changed me. That's what changed my mental problem. Anger, man. Woo! When I tell people, look at it, I'm not too tell them like that. Ask my teachers and principals and people in school and
Oh, they know Tim McRae.
and that's how they do it. I didn't want to know like that.
But hey, we happy you here.
Yeah, man, so I'm 50 years old.
Good, you just turned 50.
And some people, I know friends that maybe 21, I know friends that maybe 13, 14 that I ran with. And it was the same people I was out there fighting with. So some of them didn't make it, and I said,
Oh, yes.
You feel less of a man without your aggression, man?
nah, but I still got it. I turned it into something.
I
I turned it into my fire for my business.
Yep.
My passion for what I'm doing. Acting, commercials. Anything I put my hands on, well, I'm going to succeed. And I use that passion, I use that anger to fuel me. When I say fuel me, I mean fuel me so that I'm on fire right now. Like, just talking to you so hype. Like, that's the energy. That's that same energy I was using to punch you in the face.
But he says with a laugh and a smile.
Like, and I was smiling. Like,
Smile with that one.
what's going on here? I always try to deceive people and shit. Because we always look at face value.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Do math. Let's like snap a joke and laugh and like, hey, dude, just snap. I would do some crazy stuff. I really try to go extreme to be violent.
Thank you.
Let that change. But yeah, I don't feel that aggression is still in me, bro. But it's a different fire.
Yeah.
It's almost like this heat that's on.
It's
a different
recentered.
fire. It's like, oh, I know you're the person.
I'm really getting out too. I know earlier we was freezing, so I assume
No,
it
so-
kind of toned us down.
Again, like I'm in the building, so I know the heat come
You
on.
know
the
the
smell.
heat.
So the smell just.
But
It come
Right.
But that's a good question, but the aggression is still there, but I just turned it into a different fire. I was able to shift that anger into positivity to spreading love, helping people out, and pushing anything positive that somebody wants to do. People know, you come mess with me. If you don't want to do something, don't come tell me you want to do it. Because if you don't do it, I'll be like, oh, don't we? Oh, we're not doing that? Cool. You know what I mean? But if you come in and say you want to do something, I'll make sure we're trying to make it happen. You know what I mean? So,
Thank you for that. No, Jay,
you
you
know, psyched up.
No, you're good. We love the passion. But for a minute, he tapped his shoulder, making sure you were on. People clutching pearls in here, ain't got pearls on.
We big boys.
Right, bodyguard.
Just don't honk out next to me, bro.
But Jay, I do want to, tap into your reprogramming. How are you?
Reprogramming. My reprogramming began after my separation and my divorce from my daughter's mom. I always go back to point of reference.
Yeah.
I was raised by, single mom, but raised by my uncles, my big brothers, or my older sister, her boyfriends, I call them all my big brothers.
Yeah.
So that's my upbringing. So I have one uncle who was married, three uncles that were married, one that was the family, the rich aunt and uncle. Then I had the one that's the religious aunt and uncle. Then I had the one that I resonated with, that was the playboy.
You had a lot of different,
Right.
it seems like, just situations in
Right.
your life that you could look to.
And then I had an older sister, older cousin, so I'm the only boy, surrounded by 4 or 5 older females. So
Right.
I'm learning game from this one. So I'm learning responsibilities of how to cut grass, how to fix stuff. I'm learning how to play games, drink, how to be a player. And then the religious uncle was more of the carpenter, more religious. I didn't gravitate to him as much. So when I separated, got my point. So my point of references was just all messed up. So then I got I've always hung with older people. I'm in bars 16, 17, throwing back shots of Henny. You know what I mean? I started from young. So when I had my daughters and my own family, it was at the height of my career as a DJ. So I'm going to a point of reference and play an uncle. So I'm in a club, I'm bottles here, women there, talking, so it's just like, all right, I'm messing up. Have my daughters, then it's just like, I don't have a point of reference of a family. Like, I know single mom, I know what my mom did, I know, I didn't really have a dad, and then right before my daughters were born, I found out who my real father was. So then boom, abandonment issues. All right, so growing up, so after my separation divorce, it was more reading, it was more questioning of myself, my beliefs, on what I was taught. So it was just like, well, I was just left to roam. So I'm like, all right, so let me, do that with my daughters, but it's just like, as they're getting older, even religion. So it's just like, I would go to church, all right, this makes sense, but this don't make sense. So, but then I got into the whole spirituality thing, so more of the universe, the energy, the stars versus, God, and Jewish, and all, the Bible, that's no disrespect to anybody, but that just didn't make sense to me. So I tell my kids, if it makes sense with you, run with it. I think back to, getting beat. You get what I'm saying? I got my ass whooped by a CO belt, a cop belt. I don't know if y'all know the COs and cops. Listen. So, and it's just like, I remember that one. I remember my mom beating me with an extension cord once. I did something crazy. Just being dumb.
But did it warrant the extension?
Now that I know,
Right.
she beat me with a super, like the corner store, the hood corner store brooms. The thick joints. All because I got beat with a belt because I did some dumb shit in school. And I told my god brother it didn't hurt. So he told his mama, so the belt doesn't hurt. She went and got the stick. She called it a dog stick. 3 times, that shit broke. That first hit, I kind of looked at my mom like, all right, second hit, third hit, crack, sorry, bro.
You damn
Stick one, but it's like, all right, so it's like, ain't cool. So what my daughters now is conversation. So I took it back to what aren't we having? Conversation. So what did you do? I did this. Why did you do it? This is why. Did you learn anything from it? It was stupid. I just was over it. And then I've also learned from my manager at T-Mobile, his thing was maintain your composure at all times. So his whole thing was like, yo, you ever get locked up at a party, DUI, call me. When I pick you up, you don't have to say nothing to me. We'll talk tomorrow. And I'm just like, well, why would you do that? He was like, because you'll probably be inebriated, you'll probably be drunk, high, you're not in your right state of mind, and I want to talk to you with a clear head. So I've taken that and I do that with my kids. So it was just like, I talk to my kids about everything. I talk to my kids about what we weren't taught about. Like, sex scene, come on, cover your eyes. You get what I'm saying? Or they're kissing, come stay out of grown folks' business.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. You get what I'm saying? So it's like now I have these open conversations with my kids about sex, about drugs, like, and it's not no
You do. No, you gotta
is
say
that
no.
nah, my daughter's a 16, he turned 16 now, high school, and with technology, which we didn't have, everyone here was the guinea pigs of technology.
Yes.
Everybody here had AOL,
Yes.
and
Dial-up.
MySpace, dial-up. Yo, hang up the phone. I still not on You talking to Shorty from science class, and
You're right though.
hang up the phone. Her way messing each other. You get what I'm saying? So we didn't have that. Like,
Yes.
so with technology, what smacked me in my face was my daughters discovered, and I'm just putting it out there, they discovered porn on their iPad. And that went from watching videos on YouTube of their favorite artists, surprising, then it goes into Justin Bieber kiss, then it goes into other kissing suggested videos, and then it's just what is not.
And now,
Yeah.
So now,
now they're
Not
using it. Now they want to know
right,
more.
so now my programming was, well, whoop your ass. Beat her ass, but then it hurts me more than it hurts you. Come on, baby, put ice cream. You get what I'm saying? But then it's after that, it's like, nah, it didn't help me. It just made me accustomed to an ass whooping. So it was just like, all right.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
I can't leave school. All my boys leaving school. Shorty trained to go. Ass whooping. Lose my game for a week. Alright, it's worth it. You're gonna go through some bullshit. So now it's just more of a conversation. So I sit down and have these open dialogue conversations with my kids. And when they bring up religion, I'm like, if it makes sense to you, follow it. I'm not telling you nothing. Like, if it makes sense, go ahead. And it's to the point where my daughters will come to me, and it started in the 7th grade. Such and such is one of those virginity this evening. Huh? Such and such is playing games for sexual favors. What? She's like, yeah, so if he win, he get head. If she wins, she get head. And I'm just sitting in the car like, I see, I don't know that. So I'm like, how is that? I'm like, well, do you understand what these things are in conversation?
Exactly.
And that's one of the dudes that's trying to get that. Open discussion, like, and then driving, I'll randomly ask, I'm like, yo, like, all right, y'all in high school, like, have y'all developed those horny feelings for boys, and have you discovered masturbation? And then at first, they was just like, what? Quiet, I promise you, quiet for 2 minutes.
Wow.
So, like, what does it feel like when I'm, you gotta ask mom. I don't know why or what it feels like for y'all.
Yeah.
When it insert, I know it's gonna hurt if you haven't, you know what I mean? I'm just like, you haven't.
But you're being real.
I'm like, I can tell you what it feels like for us, and we will lie to you to get that
I
feeling.
want to ask you this question, and then we're going to take a quick break, you guys, and come back to you, and then we're going to continue. But before we end this break, I want to ask you this. How did that make you feel, though?
I was happy as hell.
I bet. And I'm happy you said that because, again, no, the fact that
I was happy that they had questions.
they're asking.
Because at first they were quiet because it had to sit, but then it just all came out. It's just like, well, I discovered it in the shower.
It's like
I
a
discovered
relief for
this,
you.
I discovered that.
It's like a relief.
Huh? My daughters. And then she even asked me, the other day, she was like, so how do you know if you're gay? My reaction, I didn't react. My whole thing was like, all right, baby, so look,
Oh, we gotta really jump in.
I don't know, but I hit up every bisexual and every gay female on my phone. Like, my daughter has questions. How do you know? And they was like, are you okay with it? I was like, I'm absolutely
Jay,
fine
I
with it.
love that you did that though, because you didn't know. You took to get the research,
Right.
research in, and not just left your daughter hanging to depend on another friend and stir her into a
Right.
different direction
Right.
that she may not even be ready for.
And then
Right.
it
You
blows your
know?
mind because people will question me, like, why do you do that? And I'm like, because they come to you. Like I used to vape, and they used to vape. So I want want to try Jewel, I want to do that. So having a conversation, she goes, Daddy, I just want to let you know I tried Jewel. I'm like, all right. What did it feel like? She was like, nothing. I don't even know why people do it. It's stupid. I'm like, so lesson learned. You like to experience it. So.
But no, it's cool. We're gonna come back with the questions if y'all can just remember them. We're gonna finish off with you and then we'll pass on. But everybody, come back.